Are you ready?
Yeah. Our ancestors left their mark on the land for us to follow in their footsteps. We have a presence on this earth through the spirits of our ancestors. We respectfully acknowledge our elders and the community of this land, and all elders and communities of this continent and neighbouring islands. We thank them for their courage, strength, integrity, and values. We, the Wurundjeri, are the Managum people, Wurrun, the river white gum, and Jeri, the grub that lives in the tree. Bunjil, the eagle, is our creator spirit. Bunjil created man, woman, and child from the land. Bunjil created the birds, the animals, the mountains, and the rivers. Bunjil created all things natural from the land. Bunjil watches over the indelible footprints of our ancestors on this land itself. We invite you to take a leaf from the branches of the White River Gum. If you accept the leaf, and we hope you do, it means you are welcome to everything, from the tops of the trees to the roots of the earth. But you must only take from this land what you can give back. We thank you, for you have now joined with us to pay respects to the spirit of our ancestors who have nurtured this land for thousands of years. We are part of the land, and the land is part of us. We feel the roots of this land beneath the soles of our bare feet. This is where we come from. Our language is the Woiwurrung Ngulu. Sorry if I said that wrong. Omenjeka, Wurundjeri, Baluk, Yemen, Kundibik. Welcome to the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. Welcome to country. The end. All right.
An acknowledgement of country is appropriate when a traditional owner is not available to do a welcome to country. It is always delivered at the beginning of a meeting or an event. You're acknowledging Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander traditional ownership of the country you're meeting on and their ongoing connection to country and community. An acknowledgement of country, of traditional owners and elders, is a sign of respect. So when planning a meeting or event, I encourage you to show your respect to traditional owners, elders, and their country in the most appropriate way. Yo, Bodhi Butter. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the True Blue broadcast. Before I talk more in depth about what NAIDOC means to me, first off, happy NAIDOC week, everyone. We're coming to a close very soon, and what an amazing start to 50 years of Deadly it has been for everyone involved, especially for myself. I've learned so much this week, so thank you first and foremost to everyone that has helped me on my learning journey regarding the whole history and cultural representation behind NAIDOC and what it means to so many wonderful people. So, the reason why I made this video is because I'm starting to collaborate with other creators in this space for mental health, psychology, things like that, for the betterment of the future generations. And it sounds funny, but we all start somewhere. We all start with ourselves. So I've gone on quite the learning journey this week. Oh, well, at least over the last month or so, actually. And I just wanted to make this video as the first episode of the True Blue broadcast to speak more about what's important to understand about other people's experience and being a reflection of what it truly means to be not only an environmentalist, not only a humanitarian, but a universalist or an ecocentrist. And I think these are true definitions behind what it means to be an Australian, or a true blue Australian, so to speak. So that being said, I wanted to start by first acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. Happy NAIDOC week, Australia. Please forgive me as well. I have a few prompts on my screen and on a little teleprompter thing in front of me to ensure I stay on track with my messages, because in no way do I want to assume anyone's feelings or speak for anyone but myself and my personal community of people. who share the same dream and message as I do, to rebuild and move forward with a better, more accepting and loving world for our future generations and children, our legacy, yeah? The more I've read about it, the more I've watched and seen and listened to and heard about, NAIDOC Week truly is eye-opening. It's genuinely so inspiring to be a part of it and to experience it and to listen to people's stories about their families, their culture and their mob. And regardless of the color of my skin, I want to be very clear. I have no right over anyone else's feelings and emotions, regardless of their past, present or future. My only goal here today is to increase a bit of understanding and perspective for other people who may be here to listen. And these are purely my views in the grand scheme of things. Yes, there's been some collaboration from other people, but I'm representing myself, the Modcast podcast and the True Blue broadcast today, because all I really wish and all we really wish here at the True Blue broadcast is for the world to be a better, more loving, accepting place for all people who walk the planet and all animals. So thank you to all who have contributed in this video through helping me learn about the culture, but sending me inspiration through the forms of different media to help me and hopefully some other people achieve a greater understanding. I'm going to play some videos now from all walks of Australian life, you may recognise a couple of them, who have come together for the betterment of our country at one time or another. Now, whether the message has always been easy to interpret or not, the biggest thing to me remains clear. We really do just want what's best for our families and our community. So I'm going to play some of the inspirations that I've had shared with me and shared with us here, and I do hope it helps shift some perspective for our friends and family and our communities. So I'm going to do that now. I hope you enjoy. It's going to be a 10-minute collaboration of some of the different things that I've had shared with me for NAIDOC Week and some of the more famous Australians and how they feel about our beautiful country and the land that we're a part of. And I just hope it brings a bit of love and a bit of respect and a bit of passion for what it means to be Australian. So I'm going to do that now.
My concern is for having led my people to trust in the Australian people. And if that trust is not repaid, I feel I'm a bit accountable for that.
I've been put on this planet to protect wildlife and wilderness areas, which in essence is going to help humanity. I want to have the purest oceans. I want to be able to drink water straight out of that creek. I want to stop the ozone layer. I want to save the world. And you know, money's great. I can't get enough money. And you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to buy wilderness areas with it. Every single cent I get goes straight into conservation. And guess what, Charles? I don't give a rip whose money it is, mate. I'll use it and I'll spend it on buying land.
Because I've asked them to trust in the system, to trust in this process, to put the work into this process, to put their faith in the Australian people.
Sorry to make you look at my ugly mug again really quickly, and sorry for the change of clothing, but this was a video added in post-production because after we put everything together and made all the, the collation of the video, we were hit with a copyright because of the Redfern Park speech by Paul Keating. So definitely check that one out. Apparently copyright belongs to ABC, so we don't get to use that in this channel. But yes, it is up on the Twitch still, so check it out if you do want to see the full video molded together with that Redfern Park speech, because it's an incredible video regarding the speech Paul Keating made about the transgressions that were committed and the abhorrent acts of the men that came before us in modern day society and what had happened to the Aboriginal people and the disrespect that was shown, because healing comes with acceptance and understanding and a shift in perspective to work together, to move forward as a community together, to understand each other on a greater level. And just because I didn't commit those transgressions doesn't mean my great-granddad might have not known someone who did or was a part of it himself. And it's all a what if, it's all of a maybe, but it's really important for us to understand and acknowledge what we did as a people to others and what they had to experience and why their grandchildren are living with the generational trauma. And some of those people are still alive to this day. The communities of those people still walk among us, which is what I'll touch base on later. But again, if you want to see the full video, it's on the Twitch. Look up Redfern Park speech. But I'll move on to the next video now, which is a little bit more confronting regarding a personal experience within the Aboriginal community and what he has to deal with in the modern day-to-day society in Australia. And yeah, he's hoping the perspective shift can continue to occur because we do just all need to work together to be better people. But I'm moving on to that now.
I'm never just an actor, I'm always an Indigenous actor. Hey, I love repping, but I don't hear old Joe Bloggs over here being called white Anglo-Saxon actor blah-de-blah. I'm always in the black show, the black play. I'm always the angry one, the tracker, the drinker, the thief. But sometimes I just want to be seen for my talent, not my skin colour, not my race. I hate being a token, a box to tick, part of some diversity angle. Oh, what are you whinging for? You're not a real one anyway. You're only part. Well, what part then? My foot? My arm? My leg? You're either black or you're not. You want to do a DNA test? Come suck my blood. How are we to move forward if we dwell on the past? That's your privilege. You get to ask that question. Ours is we can dance and we're good at sport. You go to weddings, we go to funerals. No. You're not your ancestors. It's not your fault you have white skin, but you do benefit from it. You can be okay. I have to be exceptional. I mess up, I'm done. There's no path back for me. There's no road to redemption. Being black and successful comes at a cost. You take a hit whether you like it or not. Because you want your blacks quiet and humble. You can't stand up, you have to sit down. Ask the brother boy Adam Goods. A kid says some racist shit, not ignorant, racist. Calling a black fella an ape, come on man, we was flora and fauna before 1967. No, actually, we didn't even exist at all. But he got it, this was a kid. This was a learning moment. He taught that kid a lesson. But did they like that? A black man standing up for himself? Nah, they didn't like that. You shut up, boy. You stay in your lane. Anytime you touch a ball, we're gonna boo your ass. So he showed him a scary black, throwing imaginary spears and shit. And did they like that? Oh, no. They didn't like that. Every arena, every stadium, they booed him. It's because the way the flog plays football. Bullshit. No one booed him the way they booed him until he stood up and said something about race. The second he stood up, everybody came out of the woodworks to give him shit. And what, he's supposed to sit there and take it? Well, I'll tell you right now, Adam Goods has taken it. His whole life he's taken it. I've taken it. No matter what, no matter how big, how small, I'll get some racist shit on a weekly basis and I'll take it. You know, it used to be that in your face, you bung, you black dog coon kind of shit. Gonna chase it down the ditch with my baseball bat, skinhead shit, when I was 14 years old. But nah, we come forward, we're progressive, we're gonna give you that small, subtle shit. The shit that's always been there, but it's not that obvious in your face shit. It's that, oh, no, we can't be seen to be racist kind of shit. Security guard following me around the store, asking to search my bag. They're walking up to the counter first and being served second or third or last kind of shit. They're hailing down a cab and watching it slow down to look at my face and then drive off. More than once, more than twice, more than once, twice on any one occasion. Yeah, that shit I'll get weekly. Sometimes I'll get days in a row if I'm really lucky. And that's the kind of shit that I'm letting them think they're getting away with, because to be honest, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered teaching their ignorant asses on a daily basis. I don't have the energy or the enthusiasm. It's exhausting and I like living my life. But then on occasion, when you call me on a bad day where I don't feel like taking it, I'll give you that angry black you've been asking for and I'll tear you a new asshole. Not because of that one time, because of my whole life. At least Adam danced and they still pissed and moaned. But it's not about that one time, it's about all those times. And seeing us as animals and not as people, that shit needs to stop. Black deaths in custody, that shit needs to stop. I don't want to be what you want me to be. I want to be what I want to be. Never trade your authenticity for approval. Be crazy, take a risk, be different, offend your family, call them out. Silence is violence. Complacency is complicity. I don't want to be quiet. I don't want to be humble. I don't want to sit down.
What do I want to say?
But you also start to get a sense of what happens politically and how our governments have crushed First Nations people for many years. Did it anger you in that way?
Absolutely, it angered me. It angered me on two fronts. First of all, it angered me the way the media had portrayed the Aboriginal people, because my experience of living with them was not envious, but I was inspired. I was inspired by the family, I was inspired by the community, I was inspired by their culture, their togetherness. I had only seen images of problems, you know, whether it was drinking, whether it was poverty, whether it was health issues. That's all I knew about the Aboriginal people. Yeah. And I wanted to go back and say, hang on a sec, forget those images. You need to go out there and we need to learn from the Aboriginal people. That, and also I went to a school where I had no idea about the stolen generation. I didn't even know that happened. So I'm not that old. I mean, I left school 20, 25 years ago. How can you go through an entire education without learning what really happened? And that's what angered me.
My children say to me, Happy Invasion Day, Dad. But I say to my children, Happy Unity Day. Why? Because the 26th of January is a celebration of division. Australia Day and Invasion Day. So let's have a day of unity. and forgiveness. The reason why forgiveness, look, I grew up in this country sexually, physically, mentally and racially abused, but I forgive. I forgive them from my heart, and that has set me free. So on the 26th of January, Unity Day, love somebody, hug somebody, forgive somebody, because we are one.
Our mob have been deadly since time immemorial because we're connected to the Creator, creation, and to each other.
My mob is so deadly because of our amazing creativity and the way that we carry our culture and identity with so much pride, no matter where we go, far or wide.
I guess seeing all the little ones grow up to be big ones.
Our mob is so deadly because we all paint art together.
Taking on their culture, taking on God's ways of doing things, and that's what makes them deadly.
So mob is a colloquial term that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people use amongst themselves for themselves. And it's a term we use for belonging and identity.
Powerful stuff, but honestly, I think it's really important to get multiple different levels of perspective. The perspective of forgiveness, the perspective of acceptance, the perspective of intergenerational everlasting pain for what your family and your ancestors and things in your community have experienced. People, I find, in our most modern generation come at this problem with we're sick of hearing about it, we're sick of talking about it, we're sick of feeling like we're to blame, but we're not. Like we personally, us, this current generation, we're not to blame, but people are still alive that experienced this stuff firsthand. People are still hearing or discussing it because it's a really important part of our country's history that needs to be acknowledged. And it's up to each individual who is a part of that, each community who is a part of that, to when they are ready to find acceptance and forgiveness. But reparations come in all forms. Moving together comes in all forms. And whether or not you're sick of hearing about it, that isn't your determination to say whether or not just because you're tired of hearing about it means that they're ready to move on from it. We don't have to apologize every time we see someone. We don't have to make amends for what people in the past have done if we personally haven't done it, but we do need to find acceptance and understanding. And we do need to understand that acknowledging that pain, acknowledging that trauma. And again, I speak for no one but myself and my close-knit community of colleagues and friends and family that discuss these things with me daily. You know, we need to be able to work together for the future generations of our country, find common ground, find care, find compassion, because these people, these communities, these wonderful, beautiful people that have these great, wonderful family values, they are still walking amongst us. They are still the grandchildren, the sons, the daughters, the cousins, the uncles, the fathers, the mothers, the everything in between that have in some way, partly or fully, experienced the previous issues and transgressions that have happened in Australia. We're only talking 50 years ago that the reparations begun. Like, take that into consideration. That is less time than what a lot of our fathers and grandfathers and everything have been alive for. That's incredible to take into perspective. That is so hard for the people that are still walking amongst us. So whether or not it's about whether you feel guilt or shame or you're sick of hearing it because there's some sort of complex feeling you have because of the people you've been surrounded with your whole lives, it is worth considering that we are all a part of the same community, of this great nation, whether we're directly involved with each other or not. It's worth noting that we can move forward together. But acknowledgement, acceptance, forgiveness, they all take part. They all work hand in hand for the betterment of people to come together. Now, NAIDOC Week is incredible because it's about celebrating the traditional family values, the cultural values, the heritage of this great nation. It is about honouring their ancestors and the achievements of their communities. The fact that we have come together, the fact that the country is moving forward, the fact that people are getting the spotlight and the harmony that we deserve to move forward for our kids, for the future. And it sounds like I'm just banging on about it. But again, I'm not assuming anyone's feelings. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't act or do things at a certain time or place, because healing only happens with time. And I think all of these things, the narrative that you just heard regarding his experience with the ongoing racism or the ongoing issues he has to deal with as an actor, versus the other communities that want to seek and show and share forgiveness. The youngest kids of this generation, they're so beautiful. They deserve to be able to grow up in a world where they don't feel judged or worried about the color of their skin, and they deserve to just be judged on their personality and their morals and the way they do things, the way they act in this world. We all want to be accountable and responsible and better human beings for the goodness and the sake of our kids. Isn't that worth fighting for? To find that common ground, to find that understanding. And that's why NAIDOC Week has become something I truly respect, learning about it. Like, Australia Day is such a conflicting time for myself. Being a white man born in Australia is a conflicting, transitional period of time when I was growing up, where I've had Aboriginal friends, work colleagues, family members, extended family, all impacted by the history of men who have come before us. I can't even begin to imagine, and we can't even begin to imagine, what it feels like for the rest of the country, let alone the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. But that's where my newfound love for NAIDOC Week has come into this, has just fostered and flourished from, and why I rep this Allah shirt so proudly. Clothe the Gap, check them out, awesome clothing. This week is about celebrating the oldest continuous living cultures on Earth. It's about celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, their resilience, their knowledge, their stories, and the incredible contribution that they have and continue to have to make our nation and the land they love and respect and preserve so dearly. It's also a time to reflect, because let's be honest, history isn't always comfortable. For many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and families, the impacts of dispossession, discrimination, the government policies didn't happen of hundreds of years ago. Many people who experienced those events firsthand are still with us today. Many of their children and grandchildren continue to live with the effects that history has had on their families, communities, and worlds. Because generational trauma is such a real thing. When pain is carried through families, communities, it doesn't simply disappear because time passes. Healing rarely works like that. It's about acceptance and forgiveness and coming to terms with the acknowledgement of what has happened and what will happen moving forward into the future, and working together. None of us can truly understand another person's pain unless we are directly in their shoes. We don't have to, though. Because we can choose empathy. We can listen before we speak. We can acknowledge history without allowing it to define our future. Acceptance is about recognizing the truth of what happened. Acceptance isn't about pretending it never did. Learning from it, refusing to repeat it, that's where healing begins. Consistency, accountability, showing up for our brothers regardless of our colors. We don't forget, but we remember with honesty. We respect each other, and we choose to build something better together for everyone involved. And to me, that's what being humanitarian, environmentalism, and egocentrism, all of the above, is what it's about. And that is what being Australian should mean. True blue, there for each other, a fair go for everyone, regardless of their background. That's why we live in such a beautiful multicultural society. We be genuine, be respectful, we work hard. We look after our neighbours, we look after our communities, we stand by our friends and our family. We love this country the way we always have, by striving to make it better than it was yesterday. Being true blue isn't determined by where your family have come from, or the colour of your skin or your culture. It's measured by your character, your willingness to lend a hand. It's
That's measured by the respect you show others and your country. To be Australian is to believe that every person deserves dignity. To be Australian is to celebrate the many cultures that make this country home and respect the traditional owners of the land. Give everyone room to grow and be themselves. To care for our people, our communities, our wildlife, and the incredible land that we share, that we are so lucky to value and behold in our hands. In many ways, to be Australian is to be humanitarian. It is to be an environmentalist. It is to be a universalist. Because fair go, that belongs to everyone. Australian made was something we were so proud of for such a long time. I barely hear about it now. If each of us starts with ourselves today, if we choose kindness over hatred, understanding over division, community over conflict, when tomorrow becomes a little brighter for every little child growing up in this country, that's a future worth building together. So that being said, happy NAIDOC week, and may we honour the past, celebrate the present, and continue building a stronger Australia for all Australians. This was the first episode of the True Blue Aussie broadcast, the True Blue broadcast, brought to you by the Modcast podcast. And you'll find more episodes just like this one at the link below. Or, if you're watching this on the True Blue broadcast channel, which is live as of this week, please find a link below to my personal channel, the Modcast podcast, where you can see my personal content regarding my own definitions of self-betterment and growth. Or just come have a yak anytime, because I'd love to have you. Happy NAIDOC Week, Australia. Thank you all so much for all that you are and all that you do. True Blue. There's going to be links below the video to indigenous.gov. There's going to be the YouTube video for NAIDOC Week 2026, which is that little part at the end explaining, 50 years of Deadly. And there's going to be a few things for the map of Indigenous Australia, the Aboriginal heritage, about us and about them and about everyone's culture in between, and then deadlystory.com. And there's going to be links to my broadcast and the podcast. So, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here. And honestly, I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next one. True Blue Broadcast, brought to you by the Modcast podcast. Thank you.